Have you ever had that moment where you look around your life, the systems, the routine, even the success, and think, is this it? Not from ingratitude, but from a quiet ache. A sense that something is missing, that you've somehow drifted from yourself. If you've ever felt that, you are not broken. You're awakening. And that whisper you keep hearing, it's your voice calling you home. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Voicekeeper Podcast. So today's episode kicks off. I don't know if it's going to be a series, we'll see what happens, but I wanted to do some conversations around returning to your voice and what that means to me. And we're beginning with the sacred question that often starts it all. What if this isn't all there is? This is a deeply personal episode for me. So before we drop in and start talking about content, I would love for us just to arrive together. If you're in a space where it is safe to do so, pause, close your eyes, place your hand on your heart or anywhere that feels grounding. And I want you to breathe in slowly and feel your body soften. Exhale gently. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Now ask yourself gently, what part of me have I been ignoring? Whatever rises, even if it's quiet, honor it. Those little energy drop-ins that I have been doing on the podcast, I've had a couple of people say that they really enjoy them. And it's really funny because honestly, I just started doing them for me because I love them. They feel so good. It feels so good to do that before I get into the meat of my episodes. And it just kind of evolved from there. So thank you to those of you who've reached out and said, hey, we really like that part. It means a lot to me. So I had a whole other episode planned for today. And I have been working really hard on this time of transition in my business has been not easy. I'm going to be honest, saying, okay, I'm leaving one thing behind. I'm taking pieces of it and I'm moving on to another thing is really huge and hard. And, there were things that I was planning on doing on the other side of my business, the podcasting side. And so it's been really interesting to drop all that. And I was telling my accountability partner this morning, I was like, I used to wake up every morning just in a panic, in a state of dread, worried about what was going to pop up with work that day. It used to really stress me out. And I haven't felt any of that since I've stepped into this new role that I am creating. And that to me is a huge sign that this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. So I just wanted to share that all with you. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, but when you lean into your intuition and you pull from your inner energy and strength when you need to, it's kind of amazing how calming and peaceful things can be because I'm choosing them to be that. So we're going to talk about some hard stuff today on this episode. And I just want to do a little trigger warning. I am going to talk about not necessarily suicide, but thoughts of suicide and thoughts of wanting to not be here. And this is all a really important part of my story that I have not shared in very many places. I'm not even sure that I've completely told my mom this story. So if she's listening, hi, I'm okay. It's really interesting. I have this oracle deck that I love. And I think it's called The Cosmic Creator. It's by Jenny C. Bell. And if you go to her website, it's on her website. It's a beautiful oracle deck. I will try to take a picture of the card and put it in the show notes. But I keep drawing a card that says share your story. And it has a pack of wolves on it. And it just keeps coming out every time I do a card pull. It's like share your story, share your story, share your story. And I started thinking about it and I was like, this is a really good point because my story is the reason that I have developed the framework that I have created, that I have decided to become a life and spiritual coach, that I have decided to help women reclaim their voice. There's a really big reason for it. And it would take me probably a few hours to take you through the whole journey. So today I want to take you through a small part of that journey. And my hope is that you will listen to this and maybe you will hear something that you have experienced or someone has experienced, because I don't want people to ever think they are alone. And I want to share this because I've been there too. So a couple years ago, I had what looked like a full life. My business was running, my family was thriving, I had systems in place, and this thought kept coming up for me. I don't really want to be here anymore. This was one of the hardest thoughts I've ever had because I was super grateful. I love my children. I love my husband. I have a beautiful life. But I felt very disconnected from it. Like I had disappeared inside the life I had built. And then in 2023, I had my second hip surgery on my left hip. So I'm a former ballet dancer. The reason I am not a ballet dancer anymore is because I did injure my hip. I have what's called femoral acetabular impingement in both of my hips, and my left hip gave out in college. And I had my first surgery a few years after graduating, and then I had to have surgery again in February of 23, which feels like yesterday, to be honest. The recovery from the surgery was brutal, like physically, emotionally, spiritually. I couldn't move the same. I couldn't do the things that once made me feel like me. And I had this like really hard realization that I wasn't the same person anymore. Like that version of me, the one who had held it all together, felt like gone. And then right after Christmas in 2024, I had what can only be described as a full mental health breakdown. The burnout, the pressure, the silence, it all just came crashing in, and it was terrifying. I just remember like feeling like this is not me. I am not this person. And I have been struggling with my mental health for a while, but I think I had done a really good job of masking it. I mean, I think to this day, I'm pretty good at masking it. My husband and I have this thing now where I'll say, I'm feeling off today. And he's like, thank you. Like, thanks for letting me know. But it's true. I felt like I had to hold it all together. I felt like I mean, even when I went into my hip surgery, I remember feeling like I had to get over all of my fears and hangups about my hip surgery so everyone else would be okay. And I did therapy before my hip surgery, and she kept telling me, like, I need you to do some things for you. And it's just really funny because I think back on it now and I was like, well, right now my focus is getting my mental health in order so I can come out of this surgery being really positive for everybody around me. And she was, and she kept saying, well, what about you? What about you? And I would just brush it off and brush it off and brush it off. So when that mental health crisis, I call it a crisis or a breakdown because it really was for me. When it happened, it felt terrible. It felt like I had failed. And then also in some strange way, I feel like it was the beginning. It was like this sacred moment in my spiritual journey. It was this moment of me saying, like, this isn't how I want to live. I want things to be different. I want to find myself again. In that moment, like everything broke that needed to break, right? All of my, things how I talked about myself, the expectations I had put on myself for my life, like all of that broke. And in that breaking, I began to return. And it didn't all happen at once, but in small, sacred ways. And I want to share how it started for me. So, one of the big things is I really started to look for the joy in the everyday. I'm going to be honest, friends. Like, I am one of those people where that people would say, like, oh, do a gratitude list or you should journal. And I'd be like, I don't need that. Like, I'm super grateful for everything I have and I don't need to write anything down. And in this moment, I was like, you know what? I think I do actually need to do some gratitude because it's really easy when you feel like nothing is going the way that it's supposed to not see the things that are so wonderful already in front of you. And this wasn't like big and dramatic joy, but it was like the quiet joy, you know, and the sun setting over the mountains that we can see from our backyard, in my kids laughing, in the birds tweeting outside, like all those things reminded me that I was still alive and I still had a lot of life to live. The second thing for me that is huge is like I got help. I reached out. I did not do this on my own. I did a little bit of therapy. I worked on a lot. This was not me in a silo. This was me with, my husband helping me. I had a coach at the time, actually. And honestly, like this was also around the same time that I really started thinking about like my purpose, not just in my life, but in my business, and started getting help with that as well. So I just like, I want that to be something that you hear from this. It is really hard to make big pivots and shifts and moments of growth on our own. It can be done, but let me tell you, like letting myself be held changed everything. Another big thing for me is that I reconnected to my body through movement. And this wasn't movement like to lose 50 pounds or to fix anything. This was to start feeling my body, to come home to myself through breath, motion, and sensation. I need to pause here and remind you all that I was a ballet dancer. I danced for years in my life. My body remembers ballet, but I have no desire to step back into a ballet studio. That is a Substack post for another day. I did tell my husband the other day, I was like, I need to start writing about my ballet journey on my Substack because I think there's a lot we can learn from it. But again, like how much time do we have here? So I'm not going to go into it too deep, but I know that ballet is not the place for me. And not because I'm not good at it, but because I do not subscribe to the energy output that was happening in the ballet world at the time. And I hope it's changed and I hope it's different, but I doubt it. To be honest, it's a pretty entrenched culture and I didn't want to be a part of it. But my body remembers this. And when I was going through physical therapy, it was incredibly difficult because my body remembers doing the splits. My body remembers folding itself in half. And I was having to be gentle and ginger and careful with all of that stuff because my hip had been rebuilt with cadaver tendons, like literally. And so I felt like my recovery and my physical, like the connection to my body had been taken away from me. And I was relying on everyone else to tell me how to feel about my body, how to feel about my hip. And I had amazing physical therapists who totally got where I was coming from. But my doctor did not, his PAs did not. And I realized, I think I had been in PT for almost a year. And I was like, I can do this myself. This is one of those like intuitive moments. And I don't necessarily think this is for everybody. But having all the knowledge that I do have about movement and the awareness that I have about my body, I was like, I'm going to take this into my own hands. And it's really funny because it's like I decided that. And then the universe was like, here you go. And one of the benefits of my husband's work was that he gets free access and his family members get free access to an app that's a physical therapy app. It was so funny. And so I started doing that. And it was really crazy the change that I started to see in my body. And I would say that that journey continues to this day. So I've done yoga my whole life, but I've always done it from my home. I've never done it in a studio. And then I guess about 3 weeks ago, I was feeling this pull to start going to yoga. Again, listening to that voice, right? Learning to be able to hear that voice. And so I started going to yoga a couple times a week, and it has been life-changing just in the last 3 weeks. I can feel my body coming back to me in a way that I haven't felt in a really, really long time. And I'm not saying that you need to go out and become a ballet dancer, but you do need to start moving. I really think that movement and breath is so important to healing. And I don't think we talk about them enough in a way that says, like, this isn't about getting muscle. This is literally about feeling into yourself and healing. I've even noticed this with my daughter who has a chronic illness, and we've been doing a lot of breathing. and it's helping her so much. She's actually the reason why I got my meditation certification, because we were working on meditation together, and I was like, man, I want to learn more about how this serves people, because I could already see the change that it was making in her. So just like, please, if you're listening to this and you haven't moved or breathed in a while, give it a try. Like, even if it's something simple as like just taking a deep breath, raising your arms above your head and exhaling and lowering, golly, it makes such an impact to help you connect back to your breath and your body, which will eventually help you connect to your voice and your inner intuition and knowing. Which brings me to the fourth thing that I did. I sought spiritual guidance, but I did not seek spiritual guidance outside of myself. I sought spiritual guidance through myself. I stopped outsourcing my truth, and I began listening inward again. And that's where my voice was waiting. For me, it was a book that sparked this, is Mary Magdalene Revealed by, I believe it's Megan Watterson. And I read that book, and it was like, oh, it was like the universe hitting me over the top of the head. But literally like, hey, like, we want you to go inward on your own journey. And I was so inspired by it that I did. And that was huge for me. Again, this is another post for another day, another podcast episode, but we have been deconstructing over the last few years. And when you do that, it does leave you with a sense of emptiness, especially when you come from a background like we did, which was very much steeped in ritual and tradition. And there was like this feeling of emptiness, of I was leaving something behind. And when I read that book, it just changed something in me. I can't even explain it, but it helped me to realize that like I didn't have to seek outward. I could look inward as well. And if you're listening to this and you're like, whoa, Caroline, you lost me, that's okay. I think everybody's spiritual journey is different and unique. But I think something that we tend to forget in the wash, in that journey, is that, you know, we hold our own magic within ourselves. We hold the connection to whatever greater truth that we believe in within ourselves. And I think a lot of times, especially in today's world, we look for validation for all of that on the outside. And when we lose that connection to what is inside of us, and the connection that is inside of us to that greater source, that greater power, or whatever that we believe in, it makes us feel really disconnected. It really does. I feel more spiritually connected now than I ever have in my entire life, existence, being, any of it. And it literally has come from looking inward and trusting what's inside of myself. So I wanted to share this story today because I wanted you to hear what returning to your voice can look like. It's not a rebrand. It's not a productivity hack. It's presence. It's permission. It's remembering who you are when no one's watching. And I'm going to leave you with a little journal prompt. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh man, I hear some of myself in this. I too feel like I have lost my voice. How can I start to find that again? And one of my favorite prompts, and I like to use this with my clients, especially my clients who are content creators or business owners, but I think this is also good for those of us who feel like we can't speak our truth, or maybe there's something we want to say out loud, but we're afraid to. If my voice could speak freely today, what would it say to me? Don't overthink it. Even a whisper is sacred. I did a meditation this morning, and it was a journaling meditation. So it was like a ton of prompts. And it was such an experience because I think I mentioned that I'm not a great journaler. It's something I'm really working on, especially as someone who recommends journaling. I promise to bring someone on the podcast soon, hopefully in the fall, who is a journaling just I don't know if master is the word. She's incredible, but I'm really excited to bring her on and talk about journaling and the impact it can have on your life, because I think it can be pretty dang impactful. So I was listening to this meditation and I was journaling, and when I just let go and just let the pen write freely, it was amazing what came out of it. And honestly, like, one of the things that came out of it was this episode today. So don't skip over that. So that prompt again is, if my voice could speak freely today, what would it say to me? And if you're ready to take one small step toward your own return, I've created something really special for you. It's just a free 5-minute guided meditation to help you reconnect with your voice. Not the voice that the world wants, but the one that already lives inside of you. And you can head to carolinehull.com/meditation to download it. I'll also put the link in the show notes. And that's just a great first step. No performance, just presence. So before I close, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity and space to share my story. Just know that, like, you are not alone. And if you are in need of help, please seek it. And I will put a resource in the show notes for you. But just know that you are not alone. You are allowed to want more. Not more pressure, more presence, not more achievement, more you. That whisper, what if this isn't all there is? Or that whisper, what if this is all there is not a complaint. It's a calling. This is your invitation to return to your voice, your joy, your truth. And I will be right here with you. Until next time.